Welcome to a special edition of Sports Jam. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. As we transition from the winter sports season to spring, we're taking a look back at some of our favorite Sports Jam spotlight stories from a very exciting winter in the area.
Yeah, we'll get started with a local player on the record-setting University of Minnesota women's hockey team. Hopkins High School grad Becky Cordum made a big comeback in the final act of her career. Becky Cordum is saving the best for last. The collegiate senior is playing a key role for the 39-0 Gophers. Becky is Minnesota's fifth leading scorer this season with 14 goals and 17 assists. After netting 14 goals as a sophomore, illness and injury limited Cordum to just 5 points in her trying junior season.
Last year was a big struggle for me, I had mono, and then I'm back, and then I break my collarbone right before our team's about to win a national championship. So, those struggles were hard at the time, but I think they make me a stronger person, and they made me a stronger player, I think, too, because now I go to the rink every day and I cherish every moment, the way that I should, and I never did before.
It's been great. There's nothing worse than being injured and not feeling a part of it. But Becky came back stronger, and she's been just rock solid for us, both points-wise, but leadership-wise as well. I think she's a very calming influence. She's been through a lot in her 4 years, and she's seen us be very successful and knows what it takes to win a national championship. And I think as a senior now, she's been able to just relay those messages to our underclassmen and what it takes and how hard you have to work.
The defending national champion Gophers not only have been ranked first all season, they carry that remarkable undefeated and untied record into this weekend's national semifinals. The streak has taken on a life of its own for Becky and her teammates.
The media has been outrageous this year. Girls hockey doesn't get that much coverage a lot of the times, and we've had a ton of coverage this year, and so there's a lot of pressure, but us as a team and the coaches have done a really good job managing it. It's hard when people say, wow, you're having such an amazing season. Like, what do you say, yeah, we are, but at the same time, we're not there yet, and that's honestly the mentality we have.
An injury-free season notwithstanding, Becky sees the improvement in her own game from earlier in her career.
I might have always had the skill and potential, but I just was never confident enough, to just do it myself. And I think that I've become a more confident player so that when I get the puck, I can take advantage and take those opportunities and make things happen.
She brought those skills to the Gophers following a great prep career at Hopkins. Becky was Miss Hockey in 2009 and led the Royals all the way to the state Class AA final as a senior. Those days playing under head coach Vin Paolucci and the friendships made at Hopkins are still a big part of Becky's life today.
Another goal for Cordum and another assist for Westerham.
I can't say enough nice words about Coach P. He's literally like my second father. He comes to all my games here, even though fun fact, he's never seen me score a goal in Ritter. And then the girls that I graduated with, that we took our team to state, they remain some of my best friends, my sisters to this day. So, that was such a great experience. It made me love hockey. It made me want to be a better player.
With the athlete part of her student-athlete career set to end this weekend, Becky seems well prepared for the next phase of her life.
School's going really well. I'm a physiology major, and I plan to graduate after this semester in May. And then I took the MCAT last summer, and so I plan to apply to medical school in June.
But first, the future Dr. Cordum has her sights set clearly on bringing home another national hockey title for the Gophers, capping a memorable 4-year experience at Minnesota.
I am beyond blessed to have these experiences that I've had the past 4 years. I thank the coaches all the time, and they'll never know how much I appreciate it. But it's been unbelievable. It's the best program in the entire country, and I was fortunate enough to be a player on the team.
Cordum and the Gophers, of course, survived another overtime game in the national semifinals and won the national title with a 41-0 record.
Well, wrestling is a grueling sport. To be successful, a wrestler has to have more than physical ability. Jason Melillo brought us the story of an Osseo wrestler who used mind over matter.
Osseo senior Tony Gamache started wrestling in 8th grade, got serious about the sport as a sophomore, and hit his stride last year.
And there's the pin for Gamache.
I think I finally developed the mental game, because wrestling is huge with the mental stability. You can stay in there mentally, you will most likely win the match. And that's when I went 24-14.
Not every wrestler can think their way through a match, but for Gamache, being smart on the mat trumps physical ability.
He's a methodical wrestler, kind of like my style as well back when I was here. He does a great job of fine-tuning exactly what moves work for him and his body type. He's a little bit lankier, which is a little unusual for a wrestler, but he uses that to his advantage.
I start out slow. I wait for them to make the first move, and then I react. More so of a defensive wrestler, I'd say. But then once I get on top, I have a go-to move, the suicide cradle. And so far this season, whenever I hit it, I've received a pin for it, so pretty effective for me.
Gamache was the section runner-up in his weight class last season, qualifying for the state tournament where he lost in the first round. Getting back to state and going further is Gamache's prime goal.
Well, the great part is he's been there once, he's experienced it, and he had since March to think about that. During his training and now in practice, I can guarantee you he's thinking about that every day, about just making it one round. He doesn't want that to be the story. So he's looking to get his name up on that wall as a state placer.
Gamache also starred as a linebacker for the Osseo football team this fall.
And this one's intercepted. Turnabout fair play here. And down the sideline we go. Osseo in for the score. Tony Gamache able to pick that one off and get down the sideline. He is in for the touchdown to even it up.
The Orioles had one of their best defenses in recent memory, and Gamache was usually right in the middle of the action.
A lot of our games, we believe we held the team in it. We gave it the spark because our offense has been great, but they don't start out cold. They got to get primed up, and I think the defense has always been there for them.
As a senior and someone who's worked his way up the ranks, Gamache now tries to be a mentor to younger wrestlers and thinks he might like to coach the sport someday.
I'm trying to lead a good example for them in school, out of school, and on the mat.
Gamache will likely go to Minnesota State Mankato for college and is considering trying to walk on the wrestling team. Jason Melillo, 12 Sports.
Gamache won the Section 5 3A individual title at 145 pounds, and Osseo finished as Section Team runner-up. We're just getting started on this winter spotlight edition of Sports Jam.
Straight ahead will be two of the top girls basketball players in the area.
Welcome back. Cooper's girls basketball program had only sporadic success until the past couple of seasons. Early in this season, we profiled Hawk senior Talea Rich.
She does a little bit of everything for Cooper. Senior Talea Rich can score, but that's not her main focus. She fills the stat sheet in a lot of categories.
Honestly, rather rebound than either like shoot. I mean when I have it there, I could take it, but I'd rather get a steal or rebound. I'd rather assist my other teammates than me just throwing up shots.
When the Hawks get ready to play a good opponent, the other team's top scorer knows she's likely to see plenty of Talea, or Lele as she's known with the team.
The best part about her right now is her ability to defend whoever we need her to defend, and it's really fun to watch her. She's not the tallest, but she's quick and she's strong for her size, so we can ask her to go guard a guard in the perimeter, and she does. We can ask her to fight a post in the inside, and she does. She's one of the best basketball players I've ever known as far as her intuition and her ability to know where the ball is going. She gets steals that you're like, no way. So that's been really fun.
What I'm doing well is my defense, and that's really all I'm really focused on this season, my defense. But I really need to work on my shots and finishing. That's a big part of the game that I need to work on, and my dribbling, my handles.
Rich started her career at Minneapolis North, and this is her third season with the Hawks. Her group has been part of unprecedented success for the girls' basketball program at Cooper.
It's just so great just to hear that, you guys have been the best for the past couple years. And I don't dwell on everything they say or just take it to the head or anything, but it's just so good that we have a group of girls that came together and wanted to win more games.
Talea isn't the only Rich to make her mark at Cooper. Her brother Taj was a football standout who is now a freshman playing for the University of North Dakota.
He made me so proud. We both number 32 in every sport we play. It's just like having him it's really good. I think we amp each other up a lot.
And those who followed Cooper sports for a long time remember a speedy guard named Rashad Rich from the 1990s.
Rashad is actually my uncle, and the crazy thing about it is he actually started me off playing basketball. I didn't even know what I was doing. But as we grew older, he still calls me to this day, asks me how am I doing, what I need to work on, and it's just been a blessing to have him teach me from the start when no one was there, you know. So, yeah, it's nice to have family in my corner.
Speaking of family, Talea's father, Taj Sr., who played basketball at North, works at Cooper and helps out with the girls' basketball and football teams. So they see plenty of each other.
For me, it's a reward. You ask her, I don't know if you get the same answer, but for me, it's a good reward, being able to see her. I don't really talk to her too much in the halls. Thought it would be a little different, but it's a reward to be able to know and stay on top of her with all of her academic things.
He knows all my weaknesses, all my things that I do well, and just knowing I have somebody who will tell me honestly what I'm doing and what I can do better is very good.
The Hawks beat a Good Park Center team in their opener. Talea Rich and her teammates hope to make this another memorable winter for Cooper girls basketball.
Rich and the Hawks did go on to win the North Suburban title, the school's first conference championship in girls basketball. Talea was named conference MVP.
Maple Grove senior Angie Davison grew up in a basketball family and had a great career for the Crimson. Jason Melillo profiled Angie this season.
Maple Grove senior Angie Davison has helped the Crimson hit its stride in the new year.
When Angie gets in a zone, it's just so much fun because the ball doesn't even touch the rim. I mean, she can hit it from anywhere. She crosses half court and she feels like she's in range, which is fun. When she gets that look in her eye, it's really, really fun.
Davison is averaging nearly 15 points a game, and her team is riding a 6-game win streak. Earlier this month, Davison poured in a career-high 32 points in a win over rival Osseo.
I've been playing with her since 4th grade, so it's watching her, the player that she's become, it's so fun. I'm so lucky to be on the court with her.
Lately we've gotten all of our shooting percentages up, which is good to see. Just keep staying connected and supporting each other. Like, we've supported each other through the whole year. Like, I think this is the closest our team has ever been.
It's no mistake Davison is so good on the hardwood because basketball is a big part of her family life. Davison's mother Corey and father Jim were her first coaches. Corey coached Angie on AAU teams throughout her youth, and Angie and her older sister Stephanie played together on the Maple Grove varsity.
Well, we played against each other all the time, and we were always kind of compared to each other, so if she did really good, like I want to do really good too, or like who could win in horse or 1-on-1, and yeah, she pushed me and made sure, like, she's more of the work ethic type of person. Like, she'll go every single day, and she made sure I went with her, so I owe a lot to her on how good I've become.
Growing up in a family of coaches, Angie says she might see herself as a coach and teacher in the future. In the present, though, Angie is giving back by refereeing youth basketball games. Actually, she's more like part ref, part coach.
At the 3rd and 4th grade level, it's kind of like coaching because you have to stop and explain to them why they can't get up off the ground and run down the floor without dribbling. So, yeah, I think I can see it.
Off the court, Angie is a part of the Maple Grove Link Crew. The program links upperclassmen with sophomores to help with the transition to high school.
It's nice to know older kids, so that's why, like, being in Link Crew, I can, like, give back and, like, give to the sophomores what I had, like the leadership that they saw and everything, so I don't know, that's why I wanted to be in it.
Angie Davison was certainly never wanting for basketball knowledge at home, and she gives a lot of the credit for her development to older sister Stephanie. And Angie enjoyed playing with Stephanie so much, she'll do it again. This fall, Angie will join her sister at the University of Northern Iowa, where Stephanie is currently a redshirt freshman.
It was basically a dream come true because I didn't think I was going to play with her again after high school was over, but to hear that she decided to come here was awesome, and I can't wait to play with her again.
It was so much fun playing with her here, and we get along so well, and I don't know, I missed her when she left, and I wanted to, like, go play with her again.
Angie will play on the Class 4A team at the Minnesota All-Star Girls Basketball Series, April 25th and 26th. And both of those players that we just featured on our Sports Jam All-Area girls basketball team.
Yeah, and well-deserved for both of them. Had great careers and great senior seasons. Next up, we'll meet a gymnast who has earned a scholarship with years of hard work.
Not every college-bound student-athlete competes for their high school. Back in December, we met a Maple Grove senior who works hard at her sport away from the spotlight of high school athletics.
20 hours a week and nearly 52 weeks a year, you will find 17-year-old Paige Urquhart here at Twin Cities Twisters, working on becoming a better gymnast. And it's paid off. Last month, Paige accepted a full-ride scholarship to compete at nationally ranked Boise State University, a school she fell in love with.
I have been doing the college process since I was a sophomore, and I went and looked at a bunch of different schools. And at nationals this past year when I was a junior, they came up to my coach and said that they were interested. So I went out a few weeks later, and I got the feeling that that's where I'm supposed to be.
Paige started gymnastics through a park and rec program and progressed through 10 years of club gymnastics, the last 5 at Twin Cities Twisters.
I started out in dance, and I started climbing the rock walls, so we decided to go to something more active, and I picked gymnastics. I instantly fell in love to do gymnastics. It's so demanding and time-consuming that you just have to love it.
She's one of those kids you'd love to build a team around. She comes to work every day, puts her work in. She's quiet, never a troublemaker, but works her stinking butt off.
A level 10 gymnast, the top level in club gymnastics, Paige is a 5-time regional qualifier and 3-time national qualifier, competing at nationals in Texas, California, and Virginia. One of her 2013 goals is to qualify for a 4th national competition taking place next May in Minneapolis.
It'll be nice to have my family and friends here to come and watch. That's kind of a last hurrah.
It's a time-consuming sport. During the school year, Paige practices 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. But the time spent working out isn't necessarily the hardest part for this honor roll student.
I would just say managing your time with school and everything, because we do 4 hours of practice a night, so to come home and then have to do your homework on top of that, it gets a little rough, but it's worth it in the end. I've learned to live with it over the years. I feel like it actually makes me less of a procrastinator because I know I have to get it done in a certain time span rather than coming home and having all night. But I mean, I take study hall and stuff at school to try and de-stress the load.
Paige broke her ankle in gymnastics in 4th grade and suffered a stress fracture 2 years ago, but otherwise has been fortunate to be injury-free.
I would say it's mostly luck, actually, just from how long we're there and how many skills we do. But I mean, you're conditioned enough where your body's strong enough to take most of the bad landings.
She's very strong, very injury-free. The sport, a lot of kids, by the time they get to the end of their club career, have injuries that they've suffered through. Paige is a real durable kid.
10 years of club gymnastics has taken a great deal of sacrifice for Paige. As she moves ahead toward college, she realizes how vital support from her family has been and continues to be.
It's been really important. There was a time where I thought maybe this isn't for me, but they were really supportive and said, let's stick through the season and see what happens, and they just brought me through it, and here I am.
The national competition Paige talked about is now just a month away. In college, Paige says she hopes to pursue a degree in either sports medicine, forensics, or criminal justice. Next up, Jay is back with a profile of Wayzata boys hockey coach and Armstrong high school graduate Pat O'Leary.
It was quite a season for the Wayzata boys hockey team with the school's 3rd trip to the state tournament. We caught up with Trojans coach Pat O'Leary, who grew up in Plymouth competing against Wayzata.
It's something players dream of, and coaches too. In his 2nd season as head coach, Pat O'Leary led Wayzata to the state boys hockey tournament.
It's a good feeling, obviously, for our program, for my family and friends and stuff like that are there to support me. But it's been a roller coaster ride of a couple of years, I think, just trying to get everything organized, and it definitely is different, being the head coach compared to the assistant coach. When I was talking to my AD there, it's you understand the differences, and how can you understand them, but it's been good, and the support has been phenomenal.
O'Leary was a high school star at Armstrong and played on a national championship team for the Gophers. He got into training and skill development after playing in the minors. Then after a year as an assistant at Orono and 3 years assisting Carl Davis at Wayzata, O'Leary got the Trojans' top job last season.
I think that I'm a pretty good motivator, I think, of the kids. You know, I think they understand that I've, you know, played at a level that, you know, takes a lot of focus to succeed at. I've coached at every level pretty much, so all the way up to high school, obviously. And I think I do a good job of motivating kids, and I think I do a pretty good job of, you know, continuing to build skills and improving kids throughout the year.
Get up the ice! Pat says he's learned a little about coaching from all levels.
I think I've taken some from all of them. Obviously, Bruce Johnson gave me, you know, a lot of things growing up. He was very attached to the Armstrong program, and I think I learned a lot from him in regards to that, in regards to, you know, being close with the youth program. Obviously, Carl Davis, I owe, you know, a lot to because he gave me my opportunity. He brought me on the staff, and you know, he taught me. One thing that Carl taught me that was so phenomenal was just, you know, the daily, you know, interactions with kids and how important those are. Just kind of knowing the pulse of the team and stuff.
I want you going to the net as fast as you can.
My college coaches were great. You know, Doug Luke gave me the opportunity to come to the U, and then Don Lucia obviously was a special part because he, you know, I was a part of the team that winning the championship, and you know, learning how you can, you know, figure out kids' roles on teams, and you know, he was big into, you know, peaking at the right time.
And a couple of his former coaches are pretty happy for Pat.
Without a doubt, you know, I got to go down to the finals and watch them play, and pulling for Pat, you know, the entire way, and very happy to see that outcome.
You could tell when, you know, he went to work in some of these training programs and working with the kids that it was only natural that he'd become a high school head coach, and he's done a great job.
Wayzata alum Mark Sorensen's played a key role as an assistant for O'Leary after coaching Wayzata's Bantams. Mark and Pat played against each other in high school and didn't think at that time that they'd be teaming up.
Definitely not. I mean, we were obviously big rivals, and we had some real intense playoff games. You know, we played in the playoffs back when we were juniors, and, you know, seniors, we battled it out too. So, you know, we didn't know each other real well until we got into college a little bit. We got to know each other a little bit, and then, you know, obviously now we're best of friends, but never would have expected it, but he's a great coach to work with. He does a phenomenal job.
I think we work really well together. He's phenomenal at what he does, and we wouldn't be here without him for sure.
With great success in the youth level in recent seasons for Wayzata, Pat O'Leary's hoping this year's trip to state is the first of many to come.
Wayzata placed 4th in the Class AA tournament this year. We'll wrap up Sports Jam for you in just a moment.
Follow 12 Sports replays and live events on Twitter, Facebook, and Livestream. Watch your favorite high school athletes performing live on your computer or mobile device. Link to us on 12.tv.
And that will do it for this edition of Sports Jam. It really was quite a winter in the area.
And we're happy to have been part of it all. We'll hit the spring season, weather permitting, the week of April 15th. See you then on Sports Jam.